Hey yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and today we're giving you guys our first impressions of the brand new album from Parasite Inc., Dead and Alive. Alright guys, so Parasite Inc. is a pretty new band to us. We were just looking to find new releases that are coming out. We decided to do this one. We reacted to one of their singles last week, and I thought it was a pretty good song.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
That was called what? Once and For All?
Yeah.
Once and For All, yeah. That was a pretty good song. I got a lot of Children of Bodom vibes from it, Arch Enemy vibes from it. You know, just kind of a lot of typical melodic death metal. These guys are from Germany, so we get that German flavor in there. Not that you can really hear that much from what I've heard so far anyway, but I listened to their previous album, which I can't think of the name of, and I think it's a pretty good album, pretty solid through and through. So I'm excited to hear what this sounds like.
Yeah, I did get a chance to listen to a little bit of them over the week to prepare myself, and I'm looking forward to it. Like, it's not, from what we did listen to, because we did listen to another single that came from this album called Head Fuck Roller Coaster, and I didn't feel like there was really anything I could complain about. I'm just like, yeah, you know, I could deal with this. So we're gonna go listen to the full album in its entirety from front to back for the first time ever, and we'll be right back to let you guys know what our first impressions of Dead and Alive are. So stay tuned.
Hey guys, we're back. We just listened to Dead and Alive by Parasite Inc. in its entirety, and I will say that this was a very good album. Pleasantly surprised. I thought this was actually phenomenal. From beginning to end, I was really happy with what I heard. There was a lot of cool stuff happening. I don't know, let's talk about some tracks. What track did I like the best? My favorite track. I'm gonna go right off with that. All right, track number 10. There's 11 tracks on this album. Right near the very end, the title track, called Dead and Alive, I thought was primo. Super high energy. A lot of the songs have really high energy. Almost to the point where it felt like it was like speed metal. Like super fast riffing, super fast double bass, but they also break it up with like thrashy D beats, and just the intro was high energy, everything like that. The guitar solos in this specific song were amazing. I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure there was a trade-off. Like one guy does a solo, then he trades to the other guy. Both of them were really cool. Maybe it was one guy doing both, but I felt like I heard a transition in the middle. Could be wrong, but either way, it was awesome. Then all of a sudden, it goes straight into this like quiet, like serenity. And it's just like, oh yeah, I'm just feeling this moment, and it's just all calm and peaceful. And that was right out of like this crazy high octane solo, and it goes right down to that. And then it builds up right back into this, you know, super high energy chaos again. And then the outro. Just the whole song, the structure, everything was very well done. There was a bunch of songs like that though. Like, I'd say out of 11 tracks, 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 of them were really friggin' good. So a good half the album. First track was an intro. The last track was a cover, which I guess you probably want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
That cover, it was funny. It's a cover of Scandroid. The song is called Empty Streets. We've never heard of Scandroid, but when the song came on after Dead and Alive, we thought to ourselves, is this a cover? Because it sounds so different from everything else you hear on the album.
Yeah.
So, you know, I look up on Spotify Empty Streets, and there's a million Empty Streets, but just so happened to find Scandroid, and that was the song that they covered.
Yep.
Now, as a cover, I think they did a pretty good job. I really like when metal bands cover songs that are not metal songs.
Yeah.
And then do it in their own style, because it sounds so, like, refurbished. Like, they're doing this song, but they're doing it in their own way, and that makes it almost like it's a new song, and I really like that.
Yep.
I do like their cover, like Parasite Inc.'s cover. It has the edge that they've had throughout the entire album, but at the same time, it's a lot more chill, because
it's a little pulled back.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the original song isn't a metal song.
Yeah.
They don't want to completely reinvent it. They gotta stay a little bit true to that style, which is a bit of an electronic song. Right?
Yeah, that's
and
something.
You hear that throughout the album.
Exactly. That's, you know, when we found like Scandroid's original song, we thought, you know, this isn't really too big of a surprise that this band is covering this song, given that there is some electronic influences on the rest of the album. There are some songs with like robot voices, there's a lot of that kind of stuff with the keys. I thought throughout the album the keys were really good. I always found a lot of songs like having a really cool ambiance to it that was from keyboards, all that kind of stuff. Even guitars sometimes did some harmonies. Overall though, this album was really cool. Like as similar to you, I'm also pleasantly surprised. We went into this album, I was expecting, okay, it's gonna be like enjoyable, I don't know if it's gonna be amazing, and then
I felt like it was gonna be typical.
Yeah.
Good but typical.
But then there were some songs that really blew my socks off, especially track number 3. This World is just wow. Just, it pounds you so hard. Like I think the mix is great on this album, and This World is a perfect example of how good it is because it fills the sound so much. Like it fills so much space, and even if you remove all the background stuff with the keyboards and all the harmonic guitars, if you're just looking at just, you know, guitar, drums, bass, and the vocals, it fills so much and it's so thick. It's fantastic. The syncopated rhythms are great. The double kick sounds awesome, not only on this song, but throughout the entire album. It's just digging you away. The only slight problem I had is that the first half of the album has tons of energy, goes really, really, really hard, constantly in your face, and then, you know, throughout the album it does dip down a little bit. The latter half of the album is a lot more relaxed. That being said, I did appreciate the title track bringing the energy back to where it was at the beginning.
And that was cool.
Yeah, I think that's a really good like send-off. If you don't want to count the cover as part of the album, then the title track's a great send-off saying like, okay, we still got the energy. Because I was a little bit worried, like, is this really gonna reach like the first half of the album? Because the first half was just explosive.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it was able to make it back there with the ending.
What did you think of the intro track, Countershock? Do you think it did a cool job or a good job at kind of setting the tone for the album and leading into that second track, which is the single, Once and For All?
When you go into an intro track, sometimes it's hard to tell how effective it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And then by the time it goes into the second track, you ask yourself, was it good or not?
Yeah.
What really kind of made this intro track for me is the fact we're sitting there listening to the album and we're looking at the album artwork in front of us. The album artwork has this cool mechanical heart. You see like heart pulse meters all over the place, even in like, you know, the album name.
Yep.
And then a heartbeat started in the intro track, and just looking at that and hearing it being like, oh wow, like that's developing a cool theme of the heartbeat or whatever, and I thought that was cool. It had a great transition into Once and For All. Like it flowed really right in there, and it's just blazing like right off the bat. So I would say this is a really good intro track. Like it's effective.
Yeah, I think it did a great job just setting that atmosphere, setting the proper tone, and then leading right into the first real track, and you can just get immediate high energy, you know, great song right off the bat. I thought it did a good job.
Yeah.
And when you mentioned This World, I'll add to that it was nothing of what I expected. Like when you hear Once and For All, we've heard that song already, we reacted to the video, and I expected the rest of the album to be kind of in that vein. When This World starts, it's different, but it's different in a good way. I was like taken aback, kind of like, wow, what's this? What's this? I like this. I like the direction they're going with this. So I like what they're doing with this. And then even the next song, Fall of the Idealist, did a similar thing. Very different. That's another thing about this album. Every song had its identity, which is something we always talk about on this channel. When artists make albums, we want each song on the album to have its own spot on the album, have its own identity, have its own purpose, and I think they did very well on this.
Yeah, they did do a really good job. Like every single song, I could probably find something about it to really point out and be like, oh yeah, that's the one that does that. So it does have a lot of individuality between tracks.
Yeah.
What was interesting about Fall of the Idealist though is I felt it was a little bit similar to This World with how the syncopated rhythms went, but it didn't feel the same. It didn't feel like anything got stale. They both did a similar concept musically, but they did them differently, and that made it so much more fruitful.
Yep.
So that was really good to see. What else?
Was there any song that you kind of like, were like meh, didn't like, or
you know,
like that?
The songs that I didn't rate too high all got similar ratings. Like nothing on this album for me got below a 6. But the lowest one, not counting the cover, because I did give the cover a 6 because I was a bit confused on whether it was or not a cover.
Yeah.
But Sunset Overdrive, it just kind of felt like the vibe was getting a bit stale because a few of the other tracks had a lot of chill moments, and this one specifically was getting a little bit it's hard to explain. It was not, I felt like it was too detached from the first half. At that point I'm thinking, are they going to make it back there, or is this just going to be like a roller coaster that goes down and stays there?
Yeah, I felt a bit like that with the 7th song, the song right before Sunset Overdrive, which is called Red Wine Collider. In my notes here, I just wrote basically that it's heavy on the synth, which I don't mind that. And I said that I like it, but I don't really know what to write about it. There was just nothing that was standing out where I could really comment on, good or bad. It was kind of just a very neutral song. But those are the kind of songs for me, after multiple listens, they'll grow on you or you'll get annoyed with them. But with that said, we are going to listen to this album all week long as much as possible. Basically give it the test of time to see how our opinions develop over the week, and we'll be back a week from today with our final review of Dead and Alive by Parasite Inc. So make sure you guys leave a comment below, let us know what you guys think of this album. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Be sure to come back next week to see our final review with our scores. I'm Vile Self.
I'm TV Fish.
We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.